Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Life and Death section. So in this week, we will look at how to defend your big knight corner protection. So what I'm talking about is when black has a stone at n17. This is definitely a more efficient move than, not necessarily better than 017, but it's looking for more efficiency in your game. When you play n17, you're one stone closer towards the left side, which means you limit white's development towards this side a lot more. And also you prevent white playing this really annoying AI shoulder hit, because when he plays this one, he will donate you a larger corner. So it's a lot larger than if the stone was at 017. Therefore, playing the big knight corner protection is definitely an excellent move as well. It's a very legit move, has a lot of benefits as I just mentioned. More efficient, better influence towards the left side, and preventing annoying moves like the shoulder hit. Definitely try it out in your game. So obviously we can't really play this move if we don't know what happens when whites just hop in like this, right? This is a legit move for white. Probably not this early in the game, but later on in the mid game, white can definitely do something like this. How do we respond to this? Well, black first can block uh, on the basically the R16 side. And then we will reach this variation. Very important for black to play the tiger's mouth to block white, to put max pressure onto white. White Ataris and then honey over here. We patiently make a tiger's mouth. White needs to add an extra move to make himself alive, and then we will capture the stone at a P16. White will definitely go ahead and play somewhere else on the board. So the result of this is really good for black, especially this early in the game, right? We have this wall basically exert influence towards both sides as well as towards the center. So this is a really good outcome for black if white invades this early in the game. So you might be wondering, well, what is happening in the corner? Is there a way for black to do something in here? We can check it out. So basically, if black plays the T16, which is a nice move to squeeze the eye space for white, white can defend himself at S18, and there's no way to really kill white, right? So he has an eye on the right, and then this stone cannot be dragged back, so white is alive. If black honeys on the other side, white can basically jump at S19, and there's pretty much no way for you to kill this group either. So looks like the honey from both sides not gonna work. Well, what if we come in? White can defend like this. So if you extend, I can play the R19, and now I have a mi situation. So if white gets one of these, white is gonna have two eyes and therefore is alive. And if black says, let me be fancy and try to make a ko here, white can Atari from the outside. When black plays this one, white can make an eye here. Black cannot pull back this stone. So this is also alive for white. And the trickier one is for black to directly go at R19. Now white has an excellent move to counter this, that is to play the T18 move. This is threatening to play S19 and make alive, so we need to take that vital point away. But now white can just patiently play the T16 move. And now if black squeeze in, we're back to the same situation. So this is these are the exhaustive variations that I pretty much showed every way that black can try to kill, and then we see that there's absolutely no way to kill white over here. But just notice that uh, black's a T15 is going to be a Sente, and you probably already realize why, because now we can do something like this. We can come in, and now white pretty much cannot. Well, the difference, as you can see, is that when black reach this shape, white cannot go in anymore because we can just take him. So this is a clean death for white. White's best way to defend is probably to throw in at S19 and to basically make a ko over here. So, or probably just defend like this. And then black will throw in, and this is a ko as well in the corner. So T15 is pretty much a Sente towards the corner. So this is a very classical way for black to defend. I really recommend it because I think it's easier for you to manage as black. Your group is super thick. There's no security problem for you, and then you can just go ahead and attack or make moyo out of it. So definitely the best defense in this case. In some situations, white would already have some sort of stones. Let's say, for example, white already has 2 stones like this on the side. That is super solid, and it's going to limit any potential to develop. Then I would not recommend you to actually use this classical way of playing as the black, because as you already see that now this area is limited by white stone over here. So white has a really strong formation over here to limit our potential to develop. So we don't really want to develop on this side. In this case, maybe we have better options. And unfortunately, there is a better option for black. So black does not necessarily have to block on this side. He can also block on the 017 side. And now place the double honey to put max pressure onto white. White will certainly take your stone at SF14. And now we can switch the territory, right? We guard our corner. White gets a Sente, strengthen the side. I think this is just an equal game. And I think it's very easy for you to manage. So no way to pull out these 3 stones, and black has a nice amount of points over here, and then the game will keep going from here. So also a very, very good protection, a good variation for black when white already has a solid formation over here. So now I hope this is the end of today's life and death content. I hope you will feel more confident playing the big knight corner protection in your game later on. An excellent move, a very legit move, and we're not really too worried about white's corner invasion because we can get compensations elsewhere, or we can get a really strong group outside as well. So this is today's Go content. In your game, try the big knight corner protection out. Very good move once again, and I hope you can make use of the knowledge you learned today. So let's now move on to today's last week's life and death problems. For the problem on the top right, white's correct move is to actually jump into the basically a point into the P18. When black clamps, we can make use of his shortage of liberty. He cannot play this one, therefore he has to Atari from behind, and now we throw in, and this will kill black's group. For the upper left corner, black needs to take the vital point that is at the D18. When white tries to block, black can make use of the fact that white cannot throw in here. So white really has to play the C18. We connect our stone back, and then there's no way for white to make a life inside. A clean death. So now we are at a trickier problem. This is a 1D problem over here. So the correct move for white to play is actually Atari from behind. When black connects, white now has this really tricky move, but that's the only move that works in this situation. That is to go in and suicide at 1-1. When black takes, we can just throw in once more, and then when black Ataris from behind, this is a life shape for us. Alternatively, if a black just simply Atari from outside, we can take both groups at the same time. So now we have a Miai situation. White will get one of this, and therefore he is definitely going to be alive. Moving over to the most difficult problem. Black plays first. Black will start by Atari from the S1 and then connect himself. Very tricky. Now white cannot play this one because we can Atari from behind, and now and then capture these 3 white stones. Very interesting shape. You capture me, and then I Atari you and capture you. So very classical way. A very classical thing in life and death. But the problem is not so easy. White can squeeze the ice space from the outside. Now black cannot happily just play this one, because now white will make use of black's shortage of liberty, right? So you cannot make this eye, and then therefore you're dead. So black cannot rush to capture the 2 stones in the corner. So what he will do is to play from the outside. He will block and expand his ice space. Once again, this won't work because the reason I mentioned, we have a way to capture white's 3 stones in the corner. So white has a trickier move over here. That is to turn. Black obviously cannot play this one. He does not have the liberty, so he will capture the 2 stones. And now, obviously, white wants to break this eye, but not really, because if you break this eye, black can come back and make a life very easily. So white's correct move is to crawl once more. And now, black cannot make an eye from the outside because now black is just dead, right? You cannot fill in any of these. So this is the trickiest point. What black needs to play is to actually squeeze here. And now the trick comes when white Ataris from behind. This is the trickiest moment of this corner. So so many players would just capture white here. I have a bend 4 shape plus a iron gote. I'm so alive, right? As black, you might think in this way, but white will sort of laugh at you and say, well, you are actually so dead, because when I throw in back at 3-1, wow, it turns out that black is dead. So if you make this eye, I throw in here. If you play this one, I can throw in like this. When you capture me, I throw in like this. So black is actually dead after this throw in. So what black can play really is to connect at the T8 to make himself an eye. And when white takes, well, remember, we always have this way to capture white's group back. So now this is going to be a life for black. Very tricky sequence. If you found it, I would say you're definitely 4 dan or even higher, right? If you figure this out by yourself without playing moves on the board, but but by just looking at the problem and solve it in your head, basically. Super difficult problem. Uh, a lot of tricky stuff going on in there. But I hope you had fun. I hope you had fun solving these problems. We will finally look at what are problems that are waiting for us for this week. So uh, for the levels are marked. So for the upper right corner, black to play first and try to basically do something in the corner to try to kill white. For the 3K problem, it's a black to play first and try to make himself alive. So it's black to play first, not white to play first. Black to play first and try to make himself alive. For the 1D problem, it's black to play a first and try to kill white. And then similarly, in the corner for the 3D problem, the hardest problem, it's a black to play first and try to kill white. So definitely very interesting problem set, and hope you have fun solving them during the week. If you have any questions, any comments, feel free to post below the video. And also, if you like the video, click on the thumb up, and also subscribe to my channel to get the latest update, because I have new videos coming out every week. So I thank you for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.